Hi, everybody. I am Kevin Ioli from Yahoo Sports. I appreciate you joining me. And my guest right now is going to be involved on part of the undercard of the Canelo Alvarez Triple G fight on September 15th. A really good undercard, a lot of action. Former middleweight champion David Lemieux. How are you, David?
Doing great. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it. I'm doing awesome as well. Looking forward to your fight. Hey, let's get right to it. You were fighting Gary Spike O'Sullivan on the undercard, and I talked to Oscar De La Hoya the other day about your fight, and he was very adamant. He said this is a make or break fight for David Lemieux. It's put up or shut up time. He needs a win in this fight. Does it surprise you to hear him say that in such blunt terms that you need to do something big in this event?
Uh, no, you know what? They expect a lot from me. It's all good. I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm gonna bring to the table on September 15th. It's gonna be a beautiful victory. I'm in great shape. I'm coming down for business. I'm coming down for big names, and the first big name is gonna be Gary O'Sullivan, and then we're gonna head up to some real deal.
Dave, you had flirted a little bit, and I know you're ranked even by the WBC at super middleweight. What's your status right now? I mean, are you putting all your focus to fighting at 160 and pursuing a title, or are you just taking the best fights that are out there?
No, actually, I'm staying at middleweight. There's some stuff I changed in my nutritional ways. I changed my nutritionist and everything. Um, I'm staying at middleweight, and I'm gonna be a middleweight for the rest of my career, hopefully. Um, so we're staying here. There's only a few adjustments I needed to be done, but I'm staying middleweight, and I'm going to do a nice mark with the middleweight.
How do a lot of times when you're in this, and you've been in the position before, being on the undercard of a big event, when you're there, sometimes they're showcasing the winner to fight a Canelo or to fight a Gennady. You've been in the ring with Gennady Golovkin. Do you feel it's a legitimate that if you have a big win that you could be in the mix again for another title shot against the winner of Canelo Triple G?
That's the whole goal. That's the whole goal of this fight. We want to do a great fight against Gary O'Sullivan. He's a tough competitor. I know what I'm facing, but I'm very confident in my abilities and into what I'm going to bring to the table. That this fight is not going to last. Um, and then we're heading. I'm ready for Canelo. I'm ready for Golovkin. A rematch against Golovkin. So the big names are there, and I'm ready to take them.
O'Sullivan is 28-2 with 20 KOs, and he's been stopped once by Chris Eubank. He went 12 rounds as you did with Billy Joe Saunders. Given you had a common opponent, were you able to, kind of watch his fight and match up and see how he stacked up to you when you know what it was like against Saunders and watching him against Saunders? Did you get a feel for him that way?
Yeah, styles make fights. He has a different style than me. Saunders had a different approach with me than he did with O'Sullivan. But I had my issues in the Saunders fight. That has been in the past now, and it's been fixed. I wasn't at my best abilities, but anyways, that's in the past now. Yeah, we're studying Gary O'Sullivan very closely throughout my camp. We're not worried. We're very confident, my team and I, in what we bring to the table against Gary. I'm stronger. I'm better looking, and I'm the better fighter. So that's what I'm gonna bring to the table September 15th.
Well, that's going to count for something with that crowd in Vegas because you got all the glitz and glamour out there. So
That's
hopefully
right.
that. So, Dave, let me pick your brain a little bit. You've been in the ring with Golovkin. You've seen Canelo fight. How did you have the first fight if you watched it? Who did you think won their first fight? And what do you think are the keys in the second fight?
Against Golovkin and Canelo.
Correct.
I thought Golovkin won the first fight. I thought he outscored in terms of punches Canelo, but it was not a one-sided fight. It was if it went to draw, I didn't see it as a draw, but okay, whatever. But I think the Golovkin Canelo is a great fighter. Cannot take nothing away from him. He's a great fighter, strong guy, very strong hands. Golovkin is just a heavy puncher. He comes in and he keeps working you. He has a great style and great technical abilities. It's gonna be a very interesting fight. I think the one who's more hungry and is more prepared and is more wants the fight more is gonna win this fight. Golovkin, in the last fights, I've seen him a little decline on his side. Um, in the last 3-4 fights, I could see he wasn't so crisp as he was 5-6 fights ago. But I don't know. Maybe he's gonna be better prepared for this fight. So we'll see. It's an interesting fight. They're both very good fighters. The one who wants it more, who's more hungry, I think is gonna get it. Canelo, I you know I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo brings an upset, but it's a close fight. But I think Golovkin takes it again.
Well, I was there in New York, ringside for your fight against Golovkin, and you were in the locker room warming up, and you probably don't remember this, but we're sitting there watching one of the undercard fights. I think Brian Valoria was in the ring, and all of a sudden, these tremendous boos rain down from the crowd. And you're going, "What's going on?" And Donald Trump, President Trump now, but Donald Trump then walked in the arena and was there, and so the New York people booed him. I know he went back and he met Gennady Golovkin. Did he come back and talk to you that day?
uh, Actually, you know what? I don't know what was the issue with the locker rooms. I think he was supposed to come to my room, but it was getting close to the fight. I guess they said I was in concentration, not to be bothered or whatever. But I was so focused, I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
I didn't know anything about. I didn't. President Trump coming I would have for sure greeted him. Would have been great, but no, I
Okay.
wasn't aware of it.
Let's look back on that fight. I mean, hey, you stood in there. That was probably Gennady Golovkin at his peak. You stood in there with him. He stopped you in the eighth round of that fight. He was winning most of the rounds of the fight, but you certainly were standing in there and going toe to toe, putting on a good effort against him. If you were to win and he was to win, and you saw him across the ring again, how do you change things? How do you overcome the gap that existed, in that first fight?
Good question. It would require tremendous training and a tremendous preparation to beat a guy like Golovkin, and that's what I would do. And the interesting thing would be after all these years that have passed, I'm reaching my peak. And back when I fought Golovkin, he was at his peak. So the difference into the rematch would be the Lemieux at his peak and knowing what he's facing against Golovkin, where he's standing. So that would be the difference. A more experimented Lemieux with at his peak.
I've seen a lot of great knockouts in my life. I've covered boxing for longer than you've been alive, so I've seen many great KOs. But your KO of Curtis Stevens was up there, one of the best. And I wanted to ask you about your power. Has that been natural power? And it seems like you're one of the guys that's maybe not physical strength, but that great quickness that you have, that you get those punches off quick and sharp. Is that where you think your power comes from, or do you feel like you got the physical strength to go with it as well?
Power is a gift. It's a gift I've always had. For sure, when the fighters see me, the looks always fools them because they're like, okay, who's this pretty boy? He can't be that strong, and then boom, they go, oh my god, things change. People get fooled a lot by the look, but when I'm in the ring with them, it's a different story. Everything changes once I start landing my shots. So, but power has always been a natural thing I've had. It's been always a tool.
I'm going to think, Dave, that O'Sullivan's going to be a prime candidate to get knocked out, or perhaps you, because both you guys like to fight and stand there, and certainly O'Sullivan's an attacking type fighter. Do you believe that he'll be willing to exchange with you, knowing he's seen your record? You've got 33 KOs and 43 fights. Do you think Spike would be willing to stand there and trade with you, given what you've done in the past?
Uh, I'm coming in. I'm coming in expecting everything. I expect him to keep his style. I don't think he's gonna change his style too much. He's a strong fighter. He's a powerful guy, but he's very wide, and I'm very short and explosive. I'm gonna use my abilities at my best against his abilities. I think I'm gonna come much superior than him in this fight. I'm gonna be well prepared and I think he's gonna come and try to brawl with me, but if he does, ouch.
I've seen you land a pretty good uppercut before. If he's wide, am I not right in thinking that an uppercut might be a good punch in this fight for you?
Uppercuts, hooks, right hands, jabs, body shots, everything is gonna be beautiful.
Well,
Oh,
there you have it. Well, if you want to see some action, come see David Lemieux fight Gary Spike O'Sullivan on September 15th in Las Vegas. It's going to be on HBO Pay-Per-View. It's on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez Triple G. David, I really appreciate you. Thanks for the great interview. I wish you the best of luck next month.
definitely. Thank you very much. Keep watching, guys. It's gonna be a spectacular fight.
Be well, my friend. We'll see you.
Thank you.